New year, new achievements. Just when we thought Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone had reached the peak of greatness, she goes ahead and shatters expectations yet again. This time, she's been named Kentucky Sports Figure of the Year. But here's where things get really interesting. She edged out none other than her own college coach, Nick Mingione, and basketball phenom Travis Perry. Think about it, a student surpassing the teacher. How often does that happen? And just wait till you hear about her journey to this moment, because it's filled with jaw-dropping feats, near impossible records, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. But before we dive into that, let me ask you, how many times can an athlete break their own world record before it starts to sound like a glitch in the Matrix? For Sydney, the answer is 6. Let's unravel this incredible story. Sydney's dominance began long before she became a household name. Remember 2018? That's when she first stunned the world by winning the NCAA championship as a freshman at Kentucky. But she wasn't just another promising athlete, she was a phenom in the making. She turned professional soon after, and the rest, as they say, is history. Fast forward to the Paris Olympics, and Sydney didn't just win the gold in the 400-meter hurdles, she obliterated the world record. Again. With a mind-blowing time of 50.37 seconds, she left fans, analysts, and even her competitors in absolute disbelief. Let's pause for a second. Do you know how fast 50.37 seconds is? That's barely enough time to send a text, grab a snack, or even process what just happened. And yet, she made history in that span. 6 times. Who else does that? But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Sydney's 2023 season was riddled with challenges. A knee injury forced her to withdraw from the World Athletics Championships. For most athletes, that would have been a devastating setback. But Sydney? She treated it like a plot twist in her own comeback story. By the time 2024 rolled around, she wasn't just back, she was better than ever. At the USATF New York Grand Prix, she clocked a world-leading 48.75 seconds. That's not just a good time, it's a time that re-establishes dominance. And she did this despite a delayed start to her season. Talk about resilience. And then came the Kentucky Sports Figure of the Year award. This was no ordinary honor, this was recognition from 130 sports media members across the state. And the competition was fierce. She didn't just beat out baseball coach Nick Mingione, who led Kentucky to its first College World Series. She also edged out Travis Perry, who shattered long-standing basketball scoring records. The numbers? Sydney racked up a massive 1,004 points, including 40 first-place votes. Mingione? He was behind by 351 points. Let that sink in. But what makes this even more special? Sydney is only the 3rd woman in history to win this award. That's right. In a world where male athletes often dominate the conversation, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is changing the narrative. And if that wasn't enough, Sydney closed 2024 on yet another high note, winning the 2024 Female Track Athlete of the Year. By now, it's becoming a pattern. Whenever Sydney steps on the track, records tremble. Since her silver at the 2019 World Championships, she has been undefeated in the 400-meter hurdles. Undefeated. Not a single loss since 2019. Think about that. While some athletes have ups and downs, Sydney has maintained a perfect race record for over 5 years. Oh, and let's not forget the 4x400-meter relay at the Paris Olympics, another gold medal, another statement to the world that she is, without a doubt, one of the greatest athletes of our time. But here's the real question, how long can she keep this up? Can anyone actually stop Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone? Or are we witnessing an era of dominance that will be talked about for generations? And speaking of dominance, there's another athlete who's been rewriting history in their own way. If you think Sydney's story is remarkable, wait until you hear about this next sports legend. So if you love this video, then hit the like button and subscribe the channel for more news. Love you, gang.